afternoon. Welcome back to QTV 11. We just got finished in QTV 10 doing a recap of all the lessons that we learned previously and used that to create an ad hoc report from scratch. And in this video, we're going to look into how we can set a report up on a recurring schedule. So I'm going to use the ad hoc report that we created in QTV 10. And before we set it up on a schedule, there's something that we have to modify in the Query Filters panel. So let's go ahead and go into there. So whenever I'm setting up a report on a recurring basis, it's very important to be cognizant of the time and how that affects what it is we're actually reporting on. So in my report currently, I have an entry date filter that's already set to a certain range. And so the question is, how do I set this report up so that it's going to bring in the new information, but that it's also not going to bring in the old information? If I click the Define Filter Type button for the first date, you'll see an option for Object from this query. Let's go ahead and select that. And once that menu opens up, go ahead and expand the Date Objects folder. And this contains a bunch of objects that we've created that actually work dynamically with the current system date and time. So in this scenario, we're going to create a hypothetical weekly report. Let's go ahead and select the object 7 days ago. Select OK to confirm. And then we're going to go ahead and repeat those steps for the end date range. So we're going to go again to the Define Filter Type button and select Object from this query. And this time when we look at the date objects, instead of doing 7 days ago, because this is the end date range, we're going to select the object today. So you can probably see where this is going. When we schedule the report on a recurring basis, each time that it runs it's going to use the filter from the last 7 days ago until today. Now since I'm going to schedule this report in advance, I don't want to wait for the query to run right now. If we go to the top right hand corner and select Close, there's an option for Apply Changes and Close. Go ahead and select that. Now you'll see that all of the data in your report disappears, but we've saved the structure of the query and that's all that matters. So let's go ahead and save this report so that we can access it to schedule it. Put it in a file path that you can find and give it a name that you'll remember, and then click Save. Now we're going to close out of this report, and then we're going to go access it in the Business Objects Document Explorer. And once I'm here, I'm going to right-click the report, and then I'm going to click the option Schedule. And once this menu pops up, you'll see a few options on the left-hand side. And to keep ourselves consistent, we're only going to cover a few of those options today. We'll start first with the tab for Recurrence. Go ahead and select that. And here we'll decide the frequency of the scheduled report. So right now, the Run Object setting is set to Now. Let's go ahead and select the drop-down menu and change that to Weekly. You should see that more options appear as a result, and you can select the day that you want the report to run on, as well as the specific time that you want the report to run. So you can see here, my report's scheduled to run for the next 10 years. You're more than welcome to schedule a report to run for that long. I know that no one would forget a report and clog our system up. Anyway, so now we're going to go to the bottom tab, Destinations. Let's go ahead and click that. And here we're going to choose the end location of the report. Let's go ahead and select the drop-down menu that currently says Default Enterprise Location, and we're going to change that to BI Inbox so that it appears in our inbox. You'll see a lot of options appear that will allow you to select certain users to send it to, but we're just trying to have the report appear in our inbox, so go ahead and select Use Default Settings, and all those options go away. Alright, all that's left is to, in the bottom right, click the Schedule button, and we should see a confirmation screen for our report. Now the last question is, how do we access the report after it's been run? If I close out of this and go back to the Document Explorer, on the left-hand side in the My Document section, there should be a choice for Inbox. Go ahead and select that. And this is going to be where all of your recurring reports will appear. Alright, there's one last location where the report's going to appear. If we go back to the location of the report, for me it was in the My Favorites folder, then right-click the report and select the option for History. You'll see that this is the same as the confirmation screen when we first scheduled the report originally. And this is actually going to keep an instance for every time the report runs. And that's going to do it for this last quick training video. And while this will be the last video for this particular series, we're hoping that in the future we can do other short videos covering some of the more advanced techniques. I really hope these videos have been useful for you. Hopefully helped you establish a framework for how the application works. I know these concepts can be a little bit tough to learn, but anybody can do it with the right approach. And if these videos were helpful, let us know how we did. Put a lot of effort into putting them together, so it'd be great to hear some feedback. Thank you for taking the time to watch these videos, and have a great day.